Hey fellow G.I. Joe collectors, Mark here, and today what we're going to do is we're going to be ranking the latest pre-orders that we have for G.I. Joe Classified. And here's the crazy thing, I'm filming this the day after it came out, and you can still get the exclusive Steel, Corps Sentry, and Modular Defense Post. You know, after all the other exclusives we have sell out in, 10 seconds or less, maybe Hasbro learned that if you have an exclusive, you might want to make it so people actually can get it. Or maybe people are like, dude, it's just a repaint of what you haven't sent us already that I ordered in October. Anyway, what I want to do is kind of give you an overview, like the 6 releases, how I would rank them from last to first. And in 6th place, I do actually have the Steel Corps Sentry and Modular Defense Post. Now, don't get me wrong, I did pick one up because of an exclusive. I want to make sure I have it. But looking at it, it is just a repaint of the Cobra version. And the Sentry is nowhere near as cool as that Trench Viper. I know they're both kind of repainting kind of stuff, but that's one of those things I needed a bit more. I mean, I like the Steel Corps. I think they're cool, but I think even if you would just give the Steel Corps guys, you know, a normal head, not just the Steel Corps helmet, just to give us some character, and you can make a new character to bring new people into the line. Put in an Energon person that people don't really know, but could be enjoying in the future, and then you throw the alternative head for the Steel Corps. Do that like you did with Grunt, because I think that could be a really good way of army building. Because as much as I like the Steel Corps and you can army build with them, we're coming out with the green shirts, right? So I've got the green shirts, and now you're talking about how the Steeler and Short Fuse 2-pack from Target that's coming out this fall will be another green shirt army builder. I don't know. That's just one of those things for me. So, you know, I have no personality on that character. You know, it's exclusive to Pulse, which makes it hard for some other people, because if you've ever tried to buy off Pulse, you know there's issues there. But that's why I have it as number 6 on our list. Now, I do like that it actually has some missiles instead, you know, so it has a little bit different vibe than the Cobra one, and they do interlock together so you can play with that. But I got 2 of the Cobra ones, but only 1 of the G.I. Joe Defense Post, so that's why it's number 6. Now, number 5, the repaint Grim Reaper. Now, don't get me wrong, this is actually a really good Grim Reaper, like the really good repaint. And I do want to say, like, this isn't like these are bad. Like, these are still cool things, but the Grim Reaper, really great repaint. However, since it is a repaint, it's hard for me to, like, have it as number 1 unless it, like, really changes the game. And this one, though it is cool, it doesn't change the game. I know it's nice to have a jungle version of the Grim Viper, you know, which is nice. And I do like how they have the same, you know, the Ram, like, huge machine gun going. And it is cool how it has the notches of the G.I. Joes he's taken out. So it is a cool character. I do like it. However, since it is a repaint, I can't put it much higher than that. However, I almost did put it ahead of number 4 on the list, and that is Mainframe. Now, Mainframe probably wasn't anybody's really favorite character. Now, people wanted him. I've seen people talk for a while like, where's Mainframe? Where's Mainframe? So people are happy that Mainframe's coming out. However, let's be honest, when they announced Mainframe and Grim Reaper, we were expecting Night Viper and Flash. I mean, you literally showed us Night Viper. Like, you literally showed us Night Viper in one of the things before Hasbro. That's why we were like, So that's why that Grim Reaper, it seemed like a last-minute substitute kind of thing that we could make. But Mainframe himself, you know, Blaine Parker, you know, Cooler's there. It really does do a good job of honoring the real American hero there with his, you know, the briefcase laptop, which is cool how it folds out and does multiple things. He actually has a weapon now because you have the knife and the gun, whereas before he didn't have anything you have there. But I think they did a nice job with this helmet, the baseball cap, to make it more of a real world kind of thing. But in general, you know, I do like it. However, he's not the most exciting figure. You know, it's not like you're going to have him out in a battlefield situation. So that's why he goes there. But I do think he's pretty good. But I will tell you, Grim Viper almost passed him on this list. Now, next up, number 3 is Sci Fi. And Sci Fi is one I've been looking for. Is actually when G.I. Joe started going crazy with the colors. You know, first it was Blowtorch, and then we got Sci Fi, which took it up a level in terms of like crazy color schemes. And I think that's where they missed the mark. I mean, you have lime green here. But if you're going to put lime green on it, why don't you go lime green, like glow-in-the-dark lime green like he was back in the day? Why do you tone it down? It's kind of like when I saw this Sci-Fi, it's kind of like when I saw Blowtorch. And the Blowtorch is a great character. The classified one, love him. The Real American Hero was one of my favorites out there. But you knew when they made that Blowtorch, oh, you totally toned down the colors Therefore, you're going to sell a retro carded one in a couple years and make more money off of me. I got it. And I feel that's the same way kind of here with the Sci-Fi. Though I will say, they've got the Sci-Fi down pat. Like how he is, you don't really have to do much. I guess the retro carded version of this would be kind of like how the eel was. We changed a little bit of color and that's it, because it's really cool. Now, the laser beam, like, shot blue ball shot laser thing, that's kind of cool. So it's a different kind of blast. I'll probably use that on some other weapons, but that's kind of a cool thing there. But I really think they missed out with, his name's Sci-Fi. So if you want to give that sci-fi weirdness, it probably would have been okay. All right, number 2 on our list. We have Wetsuit. And Wetsuit was one of my favorite. Like, I love Torpedo. When they came out with Wetsuit when I was a kid, I was like, awesome. But I was like, where's his gun? How's he going to fight off Cobra? What's he going to do? Is he just exploring? And then I remember seeing his little pistol on the side. So now he's got his underwater pistol. He's got his knife. So he has something to protect himself. And they did a really good job of updating his little sea sled there, because now the sea sled can actually attach onto his backpack. So that's kind of a cool thing there. But he really truly represents the real American version of it. Like, he is probably the best lining up to be exactly like it is, not too many things change. So that's why I hit him number 2. And then number 1, when it comes to the best of the pre-orders that came out this week, is the Desert Scorpion. I mean, the Desert Scorpion, when he came out with the Real American Hero line, was over the top with all the stuff he had with his guns and the eye things that goes around the side. I mean, and the Scorpion, all kinds of stuff. But this one, they like, you know what? You're going to pay for a pet. We're going to give you an articulated pet. And that's Scorpion. I can see people buying this just to get the Scorpion so they can do all kinds of, like, oh, you know what? I want to replay, like, I don't know, Clash of the Titans. I'm going to get some of those because it is super articulate and super cool with the Scorpion. But Desert Scorpion himself, super cool. I like the weapons on there. Hey, you know how we were all complaining that they just used Alley Viper's gun again? Check it out closer. You'll see there's actually rope wrapped around the gun, and there's a picture they show him of hanging on the rope with his gun, so it actually can separate. So that's kind of a cool thing. So I got to give him props for that. Also, the cloth goods, or the soft goods, I think what they call it, the cape on there, very cool. I will say though, I don't know about the faceplate, because I always feel his faceplates fall off too easily. I would just rather had a different head sculpt, but that's just me. I know Hasbro's got to save some money, but that is an awesome figure. That's what I'm very looking forward to. Now, what were your favorite ones from this one? Did you get them all? I mean, I'll be honest with you, usually I pre-order everything, but this is the first time I did not pre-order everything. I only pre-ordered the Sentry and the Steel Corps Sentry and Modular Defense Post because it was an exclusive, so I would make sure I have that. But these ones, I'm going to wait. Some I'm going to wait to try to pick up either like at my favorite stores, because I love going, if you ever watch our videos on the different toy stores we go around the country, I want to make sure I have something to buy there. So I'm not going to pre-order these. I'm going to buy these like in the real world so I can continue my completing classified lines, because we're pretty much done. We got 2 left. Got 2 left to try to find. I keep trying to find that Crimson Guard retro carded one, and I got to get the eel from the classified, and I'm done. But this is gonna make it more fun for me to go and search. Also help out my local businesses as well. But what did you pick up? Did you have a fun time with it? And I think, I have a little thought about how these things could have done a different better to kind of help with the Snowcat get a little bit farther along, because you'll notice it's only like I don't think it's even 7,500 yet. There wasn't much of a boost. There's a little bit of a boost, but I think that hiccup with the pre-orders of the Cold Slither that sold out literally in like 3 seconds, I think that was very bad. Like, there's been some really big marketing blunders when it comes to Snowcat, and I have a video on that, but I have a new video coming out that's going to go through like why didn't it have the bounce that we were expecting from San Diego Comicon. But we'll talk about that. This is a positive video. We're going to talk about the positive, because overall, all the figures are really cool. Like, I will pick all of them up. I'm excited to go into the store and find them to get that like search and like rescue kind of thing in there. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, but I am super excited for, Desert Scorpion and Wetsuit to grab them, but it'll be fun to grab them all. So let me know, what did you pick up when you were pre-ordering, and did you have any hiccups doing it? And where do you pre-order from? Because what I've seen is when I pre-order from Hasbro Pulse, I always seem to be the last person to get anything. So if you pre-order from Walmart or Amazon or Target, do you get it sooner? Because I've seen a lot of people that already have their breakers, and they've gotten breakers at Target, and I've looked at like 6 Targets and had no luck. But still waiting my breaker from Hasbro Plus. But let me know. I do know though, for my Night Force, Quick Kick, and Beachhead, I actually did go through Walmart.com. Fingers crossed that Walmart actually delivers to my house, because it's like a 50-50 if they deliver to my house or someone else in my town who never tells me they have my stuff. Anyway, let us know what you picked up, and are you excited for this line? Love to hear your input, and watch for a video on some of the marketing hiccups that Hasbro had over at San Diego Comicon that they kind of missed out on. So anyway, wish you all the best. I'll say bye from here in my library. Getting excited for new G.I. Joe stuff. I'm actually reorganizing my collection so I can explain, like, show off all the classifieds. So I've had to kind of box up a bit of the older Real American Hero guys and a little more tailored experience, maybe just my Night Force up there in Mission Brazil, I think, in the OG-13, and then have classified out there. But we'll have one of those videos when I get that kind of put together. It's my fun for the fall here when I'm stuck in the cold and snow and fall weather that comes. I can enjoy redoing all my figures. Anyway, wish all the best. I'll say bye.